What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. Yeah, yeah. Is everybody ready for their Sunday sermon? So, listen, if you didn't catch the short that I posted earlier, this is what we're going to call Sunday sermon. And we're just going to come through with whatever comes through. And, let's get it. Let's get it. You know, I've had some interesting, I guess, revelations and some interesting things I want to talk about and speak on. And, I did speak a little bit. I think this is going to be a mixture of multiple things as it comes through, but I just got the word death. I want to talk a little bit about that because I was watching some different speakers on and their perspectives on it, on the topic. And again, I still haven't fully gone over and through the topic of like choice and free will and do we choose our paths, and how much of it do we choose and how much do we have the chance? Because, mind you, I do believe from a soul perspective and what I'm starting to remember more and more, that we do choose it, but then we have choice and free will to go off that path. And then our spirit guides and angels and the team that is working in the spiritual realm, not only them, but also we have a team in the human form too, which begins to try to nudge us back on that track. Because we're all here and we all have remembrance of who we meet up with. And I know for a fact there's been moments where I've met somebody and I knew deep down there's a connection, there's a divine connection, there's a soul connection, there's a soul bond, there's something deeper than just this human form. And so I do know that from my own experiences. And I know that that's not, or like even experiences that you've met somebody and you're like, man, I know that person from somewhere. Like I've known them my entire life. I feel like I can talk to them about anything and I've known them for lifetimes. And I know each and every one of us have felt that. Again, we don't remember any of it because we come here and choose to come here with amnesia. The veil is beginning to thin, or it has been thinning. Let's say more than beginning, it's been thinning. And we're starting to fully stand in our power, stand in our worth, and really realize what we came here to do. Because even if you think you have no purpose and you were just here like they conditioned us to believe, we were just here to make money and you know uh, work a job and pay bills and pay your taxes, and that's about it, and then retire when you get old, uh, and that's what you came here to do, and that's what they wanted to essentially have us think that that's why we came here. And I never ever ever could, trying to come up with the word, but I never really aligned with that. I never really was in agreement with it. I never I never really truly believed that deep down inside, and I always thought it was bullshit. I actually remember when I was younger, probably in my early 20s, maybe even maybe like 18, 19, 17. I remember saying to myself, there is no way that we came here just to pay bills and die and work a job and make and earn a living and then to survive and then to pass on and transition on. But again, I don't look at it as death. It's death of the identity that you once knew and that physical body which you had an identity to. But it's not death because essentially we don't die. We are infinite. We are we are energy that never can be destroyed. So if you really, really like break that down, there's no real death. It's just death of that identity that you knew. Like that like that identity of your father, or the identity of your mother or your sister or your brother or your dog or your boss or your friend. That is the identity you know in the physical human form. But then when that person, thing, or place, not really a place, but that person or thing transitions on, which somebody I was listening to mentioned this, which I thought was so profound the way it was said, that it's not that it's your death, which we've been made to believe that that's evil, and it's a horrible thing. But what I realized is what he said was so profound, and he said it's your graduation, and it should be celebrated. And when I looked at it that way, I said, wow, we create so much suffering and pain, and that is only because of the brainwashing and the manipulation and the, when we're in school as young kids, we're made to believe that death is a horrible thing, it's an evil thing, when in actuality, it's the way he said it. It kind of blew my mind in a sense that that's a really profound way to say it. A graduation. You've graduated from this, and now you're on to go on, like almost like your soul has hit its plateau. It's essentially like there's no more for you to evolve in this life, this specific life. Now, mind you, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't come back in another life where you would evolve even more. There's a lot of times it could be like your ego blocking you, like there's no more evolving you can do because your ego is blocking that, or some other forms are blocking that. So then you need to you transition on, and then you reorchestrate a whole nother team, a whole nother situation, like what I've heard, like which I resonate with. Like for my example, when I did some past life regression, and tapped into the Akashic records, my father was my son, and I was the father in the previous life. So that gives you more opportunity to evolve as you're in that human form as a soul. But it's starting to like click even deeper that why we transition on is, well, we transition on because it's a part of life and death. You have life and you have death. But it's not really death. It's just the graduation on that. Essentially, you've learned everything you can learn in this life with this human body. And now it's time for you to essentially go to the spiritual realm, learn more, and possibly come back if you want. Because I don't believe that we're forced to come back. They may nudge us, but I don't feel like we're forced. I don't get that. That doesn't resonate with me, that we're forced and that you have to come back. Do I believe that there's a possibility that your soul will want to come back due to that you need to learn more, that maybe in that previous life, like I was just saying, your ego was stopping you, or maybe the situations you were in were stopping you, or maybe you went too far off your path. But in actuality, and to come full circle with it, is you learned everything you need to learn. And now it's time for your graduation. It's time for you to transition on and go on to bigger and better things that has to do with your soul growth. Sorry about that, guys. If you heard that, I don't know. If you didn't, it is what it is. It's part of life. So I think it was like nudging me. It made that noise, so I get distracted and we go off into another topic. But starting to dove deeper into this topic of freedom of free will, freedom of choice, and our choosing our path, and how much of it we have choice, and how much we don't. Because I do believe our soul, our higher self, has full choice when we're on the spiritual realm, and then it's here to just continue to guide us, and everything that we're experiencing is for us and by us. And when you can look at it in that aspect, in that way, I wouldn't say it lessens the suffering, but you understand it on a deeper level, just like when you start to realize on a deeper level, when you dove deeper in these topics and you start to look at them in different ways, you create less suffering for yourself because of the attachment base. The ego wants to attach to everything that it doesn't understand, and it's not going to understand the spiritual realm, and it's not going to understand the unknown, and the unknown scares the ego, because it wants to know everything. It wants to know exactly each step, and everything going forward, and it's not going to know that. So that creates a lot of pain and distress for the ego, and and pain and suffering and everything in between. So, you know, but as I more and more deepen my understanding, because again, we know all of this. We know all of this. We know everything that is here on this third dimensional matrix. We know everything, you know, but we've forgotten, and we're this great awakening we're experiencing and going through is reminding us of everything. It's reminding us of what we've forgotten when we came into the world, and as we got older as a baby into, adolescence and teenage years and all of that, we started to lose remembrance of it as well. Because I remember a lot of it when I was a kid, and again, mind you, I questioned everything, and I still do. I'm constantly seeking out more and more, and that I believe is also my higher self, my soul, is a part of that, because I came here to remember everything and seek out everything I can possibly come to seek out. I will not just listen to something and just say, yeah, okay, I understand. I believe that. Like, I don't do that. I do so much research and so much seeking out, and I keep finding more and more. Like, I'm about to read this amazing book that I just read a ton of reviews on, and it was phenomenal. And I'll show it when I receive it. And as I read a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, I may even take inserts of it, and bring it on some videos and discuss it with you guys. And one day we may have the author on the channel. So, you know, as I said, there's a lot to come with this channel as it grows. I believe that it's growing very slowly because I'm not hitting on the stuff that YouTube wants me to talk about. And so it's taking me longer to attract the the community that we're attracting. But that's okay. In time, it will come. It's already here in the quantum field. And so, but getting back to what we were discussing and the Sunday sermon, if we can look at things in a different way, and as I said, I read this book that I found was so profound and taught me a lot about detaching from, well, it starts with detaching from little small objects that you have, that mean a lot to you, and giving them away and seeing how you feel. with that, and then moving to a bigger object and a bigger object, and and just gaining that sense of how we attach to everything, like I did. I talked about these containers that I had. There probably was about, well, 10, and then there's another, so probably about 26 at least, filled, big yellow and black containers that you get at the depot. And, you know, those things were filled to the max, every one of them. And probably, like I said, about 26, 27 of them. I'm now down 10 I got cleared out. I'm going through papers and eliminating papers and all kinds of things that were in there and giving things away. And I don't even really think about it. I look at it, and if I don't feel like it is serving my highest good, I donate it or give it away or possibly sell it. And, I've been finding more and more that it's freeing and more, it's just freeing, like freeing in the soul and lighter. You feel lighter. And like I said, it took me, I had those containers up here since 2011. And then prior to that, they were starting to fill up. No, well, yeah, 2011. I brought them up here. So it was even before that. And it just sat stacked to the roof, and as I said, I've talked about this on this channel in prior videos, but I'm now getting to the point where I'm only getting things that I feel serve my highest good. And if it doesn't serve my highest good, then what do I need it for? What is it going to do for me other than collect dust and take up space and weigh on me as a human being? So what I've began to do is clear out as many things as I can, giving them away, or if I feel like they need to be dumped out, then I dump it out, or I sell it. But there's not much that I really feel like, other than things that I'm using in my growth, my soul growth, and as a human being growing. And even then, if I haven't used it, I give it away or do something with it other than keeping it for myself. In prior years, I would just buy random things because I thought that I needed that. And oh yeah, I'm going to save it for later on in life and when I need it. And come to find out that doesn't work, other than you end up hoarding and building this huge amount of garbage that you then have to find a way to do something with when you awaken and realize, what the hell was I doing? What the hell was I thinking? You know? So that's another form of attachment that the ego does, maybe to keep you safe. That feeling of safe, like I have all this stuff, like I have this stuff to show for, versus like maybe I just have a backpack with a few clothes in it, and then what really good am I? But we've been taught and brainwashed and conditioned to believe that the more things you have, the more successful you are. The more money you have, the more successful you are. This shows your identity by the more properties and cars and things you have. You can then, you're like this special individual because you have all these things. Versus like, oh, I just got my backpack on my back and that's it. You're not really accepted as well or as much as versus having all these things in this big, huge house and 10 cars and, piles and piles of shit that you don't even know what the hell to do with or who's going to do what with it. So I'm not telling you to give everything away. That's for you to decide what you need to do. Again, I am speaking about my journey. If something resonates with you through my journey and it helps you in your life, then I've done my job. I came on here and shared what I needed to share that you needed to hear. So, that's something for you to look at within your own life and evaluate your life and say, well, Is that something that I need to do? Um, but I'm cleaning up my internal so that my external cleans up too. And it's exactly what's happening. And as you heal within, so the outer world heals too. And so the outer world changes, your outer world changes. As you change within, your outer world changes. And I'm starting to see that more and more and more in so many aspects of my life. And my energy is is so much calmer. I would love, if you've watched some of the videos I've posted over a year ago versus some of the videos I've posted recently. And I'd love to hear your comments of how you feel I've grown and changed with in the over a year now. And if you feel that my content has changed and evolved, would love to hear your input. Drop it in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, share, comment, like. You're helping us grow this channel. You're helping us grow this community. I thank all 38 subscribers that we have on this channel. I'm so appreciative for each and every one of you, and the input that you provide and help with us all. And I also want to mention that I just helped, somebody else because I needed a better camera. So now I can provide the editor better content videos so he can edit in a better way. You're going to see the content change on this channel because I just invested in a new camera, and I helped somebody out because I purchased it on the auction website that starts with an E. You know what I'm talking about. And I won it, and I felt called to do it. And I actually was looking for a little while because of a lot of the comments I was getting, and not to mention, I had a few issues with some videos I did post with the sound quality. He had trouble editing the series that I have up right now of part one. And there was, if you notice when you watch it, there's some sound quality issues in the video. And so hopefully with this new camera, the quality will be much better. The sound will be much better. And I'll be able to do a lot more with the editing. And, it's just going to be a lot better. And, because not only that, what I plan to do with this channel also is as I travel and as I do things, I'm going to vlog for you guys and take you on my journey, to different places and meeting different people. And there's a lot that I have planned for this channel. And it's just not going to be just one dynamic. It's overall, it encompasses so many things of spirituality, of self-improvement, of traveling, of vlogging, watching my journey, and just me sharing everything I can possibly share to help every one of you in some aspect or some way. But from now on, we're going to do a series every week on Sunday. It's going to be the Sunday sermon. And I don't know what's going to come through, just as I didn't know what would come through today. But I feel like, every single thing that comes through is meant to come through for somebody, even if it's just one person. So, I just want to mention some other thing that just that I got as a download and wanted to share, which I hope that you're doing some sort of grounding practice. I hope that you're paying attention to some of the videos I posted about breath work and paying attention to your breath, paying attention to your chest rising and falling as much as you possibly can, because that will bring you into the present moment, the now. So no matter what you're going through, just pay attention to your breath, your chest rising and falling. It is the most powerful thing we have for healing. We are here to heal ourselves. We are here to find and seek out ways to ground ourselves, ways to bring peace within us, ways to share love and compassion from ourselves to others, ways to just heal in general. We came here to heal this planet and to ascend and to transform and to uh, just share with one another our experiences, not to just keep it all to ourselves, not to just keep our life experiences that we struggled with to ourselves, because we came onto the other side of it to share, just like my father did. He volunteered for over 5 years after he um, made it on the other side of cancer, fourth stage cancer, and where they claimed he had a week to live. And he fought that battle, and he did everything humanly possible to heal. And that was his purpose at the time, to get onto the other side so that he could then help and assist others in their journey of that or something similar. And that's what we go through these challenges for. If we do, because like I said, it's for us and by us, and if we make it to the other side of it, we have the opportunity to share our journey and our path and what we experienced and how we got through it and what we did, because not everybody makes it. So if you are fortunate to make it, there's something that you did to do that. And in something that you did, it's time that you give it away. I learned that several years ago, and I talked about that on a previous video. It's time you give it away and you share it. You share what you experienced, how you overcame it, you know? And I'm getting chills just speaking about this, because this is what needed to come through in this Sunday sermon. I actually thought that it was going to be the end of the video, but, I've got to be real with you guys. And being real is saying that if you've had challenging times that you've struggled in, you made it to the other side, there's stuff that you did, that you changed in your life, that you altered to make that happen. And in doing so, it's now time to turn around and give it away somehow. Whether you volunteer, whether you start a YouTube channel, whether you get on Instagram and start sharing it, whether you you start diving deeper in that topic to learn more so that you can share even more. There's a purpose of you going through that and actually coming out on the other side, and not to just keep it to yourself and say, well, you know what, I'm better and that's it, and just now go about your life and just move on. No, you made it to the other side to then turn around and help others that are going through the same thing, because there's a good darn chance that somebody else is experiencing what you did. And yet you figured out a way to find peace within. And you figured out a way to heal within. And now it's your turn to turn it around and share it. However that may be. Like I said, you could be volunteering at some nursing home or something to serve and give back what you learned through your experiences. Whether it was abuse, whether it was some health challenge that you found yourself in, whether it was a abusive marriage, whether it was drug addiction, whether it was addiction to food, whatever the case may be. Maybe you had a eating disorder. Maybe you had a lot of massive anxiety. Maybe you had depression. Maybe you figured it out and you came on the other side. And now you are here to be of service and help so many other people that are going through what you did, and you figured it out and you're better for it. And now you come back and you turn around and give it away. And give that away, and don't keep it all to yourself. Open your heart and share. Be transparent, be authentic, be your true self and share. As I said, my dad, he got up there after the first time, and I'm getting chills as I speak about this. And fortunately, I recorded the video of him speaking in front of this audience of people that were going to check into this facility that, helps people with all kinds of things that they're struggling with. And he stayed there for over 6 weeks and helped himself. And the one thing that he said to me is they're not they're not there. They're there to assist, but it's all you. You have to do it. You have to be the one to do it. And it all starts with you, whatever you're going through, whether it be doing the research to eating better, whether it be going through the videos I've posted, talking about breath work, talking about paying attention to your breath, talking about yoga, talking about Reiki, talking about eating better, putting good nutrition in your body. All these things can assist in helping you assist yourself in finding your way to have a better life, and then turning around and helping others. I found it when I was extremely overweight. Mind you, I was probably most of my life I was about 120 something pounds. I found myself eventually well over 200 something. My face was the size of like a bowling ball, and I had this huge stomach, like looking like I was pregnant. And it took me getting into that gym every freaking morning at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I'd be up 4 in the morning. I'd be at that gym 5, 6 in the morning working out 2, 3 hours every single day, 7 days a week. And you know what? I found myself later on, years later, still going to the same gym, people actually coming up to me saying, "Man, I see you every day with this drink in your hand and coming here every single day. What do you do? What do you do?" I even remember going to a storage facility that I had my stuff stored at, and this woman just noticed how fit I was. And I tell you, from what I was to what I became, again, it was sort of for the wrong reasons, because I was trying to get women through a physical external look, because I thought the perception of women liked bulky muscular men, and jacked up. And so I use that instead of building my self-esteem and my self-worth and my value internally. I was doing it through the external, and I was building muscle, and I was addicted to it. Going 3 days or 7 days a week, 3 hours a day or more, and just pumping iron and getting on that treadmill and getting myself fit. I was determined to make this happen. And then getting to the storage unit, this woman asked me, "Man, what do you do?" And I says, "Well, I'm at the gym 7 days a week, over 3 hours a day. I do this and I do that." And she wanted to see a picture of what I was previously. And I actually had a license that had the photo of me over 200 something pounds, or probably more than that even. And she was blown away. It took a lot of hard work and dedication. But it can be done in any aspect of your life if you want it bad enough. Like my dad wanted it bad enough. But I start to realize more and more he's meant to be celebrated. He came here. He did so much in his life. And it was his time, because his soul could not evolve anymore. It was his time. His soul had no more to evolve in this life with this body. It was time that he transitioned on and went to grow somewhere else, or potentially grow in the spiritual realm and then come back in another life. But that's all up to him and what he decides. And I'm just bringing you this knowledge, and this maybe in something I'm saying you're going to remember, or you're going to resonate with, and you're going to want to make changes in your life, and apply dedication, and apply your wisdom, and get through what you're here to get through, and then come back, turn around, and help others with what you went through. Because everybody has their own journey, and everybody has gone through something and a lot of things. And even though you may find people that, oh yeah, they have anxiety, they have depression, so does some millions of other people. But you know what? Their journey on that path was completely different than yours. It's still not the same. Not one person is going to have the exact same path. Whether you hung out together your entire life, whether you were married, your perception of that marriage is completely different than your husband or your wife. It's always different. How you perceive that relationship, how you perceive that experience is completely different. So your story is going to be totally different, whether you went through the exact same thing or not. So with that being said, then it's your time to turn around and share it and help others. Whether you write a book, whether you get on YouTube and create a channel, whether you go volunteer somewhere, whatever you do and you decide to do, it's going to be your decision, and for you to sit with yourself and meditate on it, or go in nature and meditate on it. Whatever is best works for you. I'm called to come on here and at this point in my life and share my stories and share my journey and share my experiences with you all and what I believe, and then you can make your own assumptions on what you believe from what I tell you, but you don't have to believe anything I say. You could just listen to it, but if you're listening to the entire video or many videos on here, then you resonate with it. So keep watching, and please subscribe, and please comment, please like, please share. I love you all so much. Thank you again. And like I said, follow your breath. Your breath is the most powerful thing we have. It is life force. It is the most powerful thing we have. So follow your breath every single day. Pay attention to your chest rising and falling. Just do that. And you will see your life transform. I love you all so much. Thank you again for listening. This is your Sunday sermon. Sometimes I got to get on here and get tough with y'all. And, it's going to be this new series. Once I get this new camera this week, if it comes, I'm going to start recording, hopefully, these Sunday sermons and getting them edited. And this is going to be a new series on the channel, man. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if that's something you want me to continue. Let me know if you have any topics you want me to hit on. Again, I always go through what comes through, but I can still mold what you comment into the Sunday sermon or some other series or some other topic on another video. It doesn't matter, but this is going to be a new series on here. I love it. I'm happy to bring this to you all. This is going to be really powerful and profound, and we're going to have many, many discussions on here. We may even have people come on. We'll see what it evolves to and grows to. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved the Sunday sermon. I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, that's okay too. Just take what resonates. That's all I always tell you. I love you from my heart to yours. Let's go. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this. Yeah.